Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at XRP. XRP's price over the last couple of days, realistically, has seen this massive price surge. Just have a look at this chart. You guys will already know, but we are seeing some major momentum, some major gains. Prices coming from about 295, going to the high, really, of 337, 338. Not bad at all. A real massive increase. But now we're seeing prices start to cool off a little bit. You know, that 5-day chart shows this. A past day, even we are seeing a drop so far of 1%. Not necessarily that big considering everything, but on the 3-month chart, you're really going to be seeing how large of an increase this is. Prices just a couple of months ago in June, not even that long ago, just a month ago, were sat around 215. Again, come to that high of even 361, and you're going to be seeing why a lot of people are questioning what comes next. Obviously, we've seen a bit of a drop since then, and things are now starting to rise slightly. Where are things going? Well, we're going to be talking about all of that in this video. I'm going to be giving you my personal opinions, and we're going to be looking at some of the latest facts. So we're going to start off by speaking about the Ripple SEC settlement rally cooling as XRP drops 5% on profit taking. So XRP surged more than 13% on Friday. This article was written on the 9th of August, so literally yesterday, as the SEC case came to a conclusive end. Obviously good news, and we'll get into that in a second. But the SEC and Ripple Labs have concluded their legal dispute, providing regulatory clarity for XRP. So, Japan's SBI Holdings has filed for a Bitcoin XRP ETF, potentially influencing the future market dynamics. We'll get into that in a second. But obviously we are seeing this slight rally over the last couple of weeks, and that's obviously good stuff. We can see that the SEC Commission and Ripple Labs have officially ended their 5-year legal battle, jointly dismissing their appeals in the XRP case. The Second Circuit Appeals Court recognized the filings, with both parties bearing down on their own costs. Following the Commission's vote today, the SEC and Ripple formally filed directly with the Second Circuit to dismiss their appeals, Ripple's chief legal officer said on X. Obviously, prices have been moving related to that, and if we have a look at some of the latest information that we have, obviously you can see that traders are watching to see whether 320 holds, whether breakouts continue or confirm to 333 and above, and ETFs regarding Japan's SBI filing a potential spillover into the US markets. Now, at the same time, we have news coming out of Chris Larsen, the co-founder of Ripple, dumping 50 million XRP. And the question of this article is, should investors be worried? Now, we need to have a look at the context for this. Again, what we are seeing here is the fact that when a lot of people see articles like this, when a lot of people hear about news like this, people often become concerned. However, the reality of this, we're seeing 50 million XRP being dropped, but what does this actually mean? What is this really? Well, this is what we're seeing recently, right? We're seeing 50 million XRP leaving the wallet addressed tied to the co-founder and executive chairman, Chris Larsen. Ripple is a company that issues XRP. The transfer is worth roughly $175 million at the time, sparked a lot of hand wriggling, I should say. So let's analyze what is going on. Now, obviously, one important thing, and this is the main thing that I want to see. Look at this in context, look at this in size. XRP's circulating supply is nearly 59 billion coins. So this little sale of 50 million coins represents only about 0.085% of the float available for public trading. Even if every one of those tokens is hit in an exchange, immediately the drop is only a very small amount in a large bucket. Furthermore, XRP itself is up by 44% during the past 30 days. Now, people sell for many reasons, and most are benign, right? It just makes sense. So Larsen focuses on Ripple's strategy and governance rather than the daily management. Diversifying a highly concentrated position is textbook risk management for founders, and precisely the move financial planners urge when people have essentially a large net worth in a single asset. So not necessarily a huge amount, and do bear in mind that apparently Larsen still controls around 2.5 billion XRP. The transaction therefore is not really that much of a big deal. However, still something that people will be paying attention to, so perhaps something that I wanted to bring up to you. Now, at the same time, we need to have a look at the recent price action for XRP. Now, obviously, over the past 5 days, which really on this one, the time frame that we're going to be looking at is the past 3 months, the past month. Obviously, when we speak about the SEC case, things are changing, right? Things have changed, and that is going to impact the way that people think about this, the way that things play out going forwards in terms of XRP more broadly. Now, at the same time, you've got to ask how this rally is going to continue, or if this rally is going to continue. Now, for me, this is one of those cases, and sometimes I like to look on the more long-term time horizon, sometimes a bit more short. This is one of these cases where I'm personally looking on a bit more of a short time horizon. My attention is going to be played towards the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, maybe even the next couple of days, and I'm going to be looking to see if these prices are able to hold up. The first level that I want to see this hold is about 309, 310 roughly. If we can hold those levels, which have been a previous support for a small amount of time, it could signal some promising potential here. I think really that's going to be, if we do see a drop, the next level that we may fall to. Past there, we could be looking to go as low as 288, potentially even lower than that, down to the 280 range. That, comparatively to what we've seen, again, not that bad. The price has dropped as low as 277, roughly just a couple of weeks ago, really, a couple of days ago even, potentially. So, given that, that would not be that bad. Past there, really, we could be looking to go as low as the range that I just mentioned, right? Even then down to the 270s, it's absolutely possible. Those are going to be the next levels of support. So, if we can hold on to those, great. That's what I'm looking for on the downside. On the upside, we're obviously looking to break above that 334 level, roughly, in my humble opinion. If we can get past there, we're then looking to retrace up to the maybe 338, 340 mark. That is relatively high off of where we are right now. It's about seeing if we can actually hold these levels on the lower end and seeing if this rally will continue. So it's kind of all to play for. What I'm just giving you here is the levels that I am looking for, right? I'm not necessarily going to set a price target here. I'm not necessarily setting a level that I am looking for. But after this big rally, it's important to be aware of what could come next. And for me, these are the levels I'm looking for. These are the levels on the upside, these are the levels on the downside, and that's what I think could potentially happen. So again, we're looking to break above the 333 to 338 range on the upside. On the downside, if we can hold a little bit higher than what we did before, obviously around the 320 mark, something like that, and well, that would be ideal. Past that, we could be breaking down to those previous levels. That's my personal opinion. I want to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section, guys, so do let me know what you think. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I do hope I'll see you again on the channel. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Goodbye.